Dear Chosen One, for 3 centuries a kingdom lost to time has been waiting for your return. Hidden beyond the veil of ordinary life, it has been calling your name, searching for the one destined to reclaim its sacred treasures. You may have felt it, a deep stirring in your soul, an unexplainable pull towards something greater. It wasn't your imagination. The kingdom has never forgotten you, and now, after 300 years, the search is over. At first, this might sound like a mystery from an ancient tale, but the truth is far more incredible than fiction. The world around you may see nothing extraordinary, but those who guard this secret know exactly who you are. Encoded within you are mysteries far older than the life you've been living. There are forces that have worked in the shadows, ensuring that you would never uncover the truth. But today, that changes. Why has this kingdom sought you for so long? What treasures await you? And most importantly, why have they remained hidden until now? The answers are closer than you think, and once you hear them, you will never see yourself the same way again. If you feel something awakening within, if this message resonates with you, type 777 in the comments as a sign that you are ready to receive what has been prepared for you. And to those who have supported this mission through Super Thanks, your generosity is seen, your kindness is honored, and may abundant blessings be returned to you. The time of waiting is over. The mystery is about to be revealed. Are you ready to step into the truth that has been calling you for 300 years? Let's begin. God's chosen ones, the kingdom has been seeking you for 300 years. You were never meant to blend in with the world around you. From the very start, you were always meant to stand apart, to be a light in the darkness. Do you ever wonder why your life has been such a battle? Why every step feels like you're climbing uphill? Why the challenges seem unrelenting? It's because for centuries, forces beyond your understanding have been working in silence, trying to keep you from realizing who you truly are and what belongs to you. They've spent years burying your lineage and clouding your purpose, but the truth, the undeniable truth, is untouchable, unbreakable, and unstoppable. In the Bible, we read about Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his brothers, forgotten by those closest to him, and betrayed in every way. But despite the attempts to erase his existence and diminish his destiny, Joseph's story was never an accident. God had already written his purpose before he was even born. Just as Joseph's journey was filled with trials, your journey has been a preparation for a greater purpose, a divine destiny that no one can take away from you. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what am I truly destined for? Or, why have I been fighting all this time? The answers are closer than you think. You are aligning with a purpose that was written long before the foundation of time. Think about how it felt when everything in your life seemed to conspire against you. Did you feel lost, trapped in a cycle of defeat? That's not your truth. Like a key returning to unlock a hidden door, you are awakening to the truth of who you are. Just as God said in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." This has always been his promise to you. No matter how hard the journey, God has been shaping you for something great. The world has tried to keep you in a deep sleep of forgetfulness, convincing you that you're unworthy of the blessings that are rightfully yours. But your destiny cannot be forgotten. Have you ever felt as though something was missing, that there was more to your life than what you've been living? That feeling is your divine purpose stirring within you. It's the kingdom calling you to step into what was always meant to be yours. And while the world may try to convince you otherwise, the prophecy of your life will be fulfilled, not in spite of your struggles, but because of them. They have glimpsed your destiny and feared it. That's why they've tried to bury it beneath false narratives, rewriting history, manipulating systems, and creating barriers to keep you from your inheritance. Your wealth, your success, and your spiritual inheritance are just the beginning. Do you believe that? Do you believe that the abundance you've been seeking was never meant to be out of your reach? Just like Esther, who was chosen for a purpose greater than herself and who stepped into her divine calling despite the odds, you too are called for such a time as this. Esther was not born into power, yet God raised her up in the most unexpected way to fulfill His purpose. Could it be that you too have been raised for a time like this? The systems and structures of the world have attempted to keep your wealth from you, to make you believe that prosperity is reserved only for the powerful or privileged. But that is a lie. You were not meant to live in scarcity. You were meant to walk in abundance. In Matthew 7:7, Jesus tells us, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you." Your wealth, your financial breakthrough, and your divine inheritance are already yours, waiting for you to claim them. In the story of King David, we see a man who was anointed as king while still a shepherd, overlooked by his own family and disregarded by those around him. But David knew in his heart that he was destined for greatness. His rise to the throne was not an accident, nor was it easy, but through faith and perseverance, he stepped into the promise that God had written for him. Just as David was chosen and set apart for a purpose, so too have you been chosen, set apart, and destined for greatness. Your wealth is not just about financial gain, it's about the legacy you will leave, the impact you will have on others. It's about using the resources God has entrusted to you for His kingdom and His glory. Are you ready to step into the fullness of your calling? Are you ready to reclaim what has been stolen and rise to the position God has ordained for you? Just like Moses, who led the Israelites out of Egypt and into the promised land, you have been chosen to lead, to step into the abundance that God has waiting for you. What is it that's been holding you back? The barriers that have been placed before you are only temporary. Your breakthrough is not a matter of if, but when. The kingdom has been searching for you, not for who the world sees, but for who God sees, His chosen one, destined for greatness. The time to rise is now. If you feel the stirring in your spirit, if you feel the call to claim your inheritance, take action today. Don't let fear hold you back any longer. Stand firm in the knowledge that God has already ordained your success, your prosperity, and your destiny. As you walk this journey, remember that the forces that have tried to hold you back have already been defeated. It's your time to rise. For centuries, powerful forces have worked tirelessly to alter the course of destiny, attempting to twist the prophecy and delay your financial breakthrough. They have sought to bury the truth, rewriting history, crafting distractions, and ensuring that the masses remain unaware of their divine right to abundance. But despite their relentless efforts, the original plan remains unchanged. The divine blueprint for your life cannot be undone or erased. Have you ever wondered why your journey has been so full of obstacles? Why, no matter how hard you work, it feels like the rewards are always just out of reach? These forces have been at work, attempting to block your path to what rightfully belongs to you. Throughout time, there have always been those who knew the truth, hidden scribes, guardians of ancient knowledge, individuals who understood the sacred prophecy, but whose voices were silenced by the powers that sought to control. They preserved the message of your coming, recording it in places that time and deception could not reach. These records were not just written in ancient texts, they were passed down through generations, sealed within the very bloodlines of those chosen to carry this truth forward. Does this resonate with you? Could it be that your struggles have been part of a much larger, divine narrative? You have always carried the mark of the chosen ones, but for so long they worked tirelessly to ensure that you would never realize this truth. They whispered lies into your ear, planted seeds of doubt in your mind and built systems that would keep you struggling. The world taught you that you needed to work harder, fight more, and chase wealth endlessly. But no matter how much you gave, you never truly stepped into the abundance that was always meant for you. In the story of the Israelites, when they were enslaved in Egypt, they were told they could never leave their captivity. But God had a different plan. He always knew they were destined for freedom. And just like them, you too are destined for more than you've been led to believe. But now the veil is being lifted. The truth is being revealed. The time has come to reclaim what was stolen from you. Why do you feel as though your financial struggles have been so intense, like something was always blocking your path? It was never just about money. It was about keeping you from realizing your divine authority. When you come into the knowledge of who you truly are, everything shifts. This is your moment to break free. Abundance is not something you have to chase. It's something you were born into. Just like the parable of the prodigal son, who was lost but always had his inheritance waiting for him, your wealth has been waiting for you. The moment you realize your birthright, everything changes. The wealth you seek is already seeking you, but you must claim it. God's promises are not distant. They are already in your hands. Are you ready to claim what is rightfully yours? This is the season when every door that was once closed to you will be opened. Every resource that was hidden from you will be revealed, and every limitation that was placed upon you will be lifted. Just as the walls of Jericho fell when Joshua and the Israelites obeyed God's command, the barriers in your life will crumble once you step into your divine calling. But are you truly ready to accept this truth? Are you ready to step into the fullness of your inheritance? Once you embrace this knowledge, there will be no turning back. You can no longer accept lack. You can no longer operate from a place of fear. You can no longer live beneath the level you were called to. Your calling is not just spiritual, it's also material. You were chosen not only to walk in divine authority, but also to walk in divine abundance. The moment you step into this truth, you will see the transformation in your life. Remember the story of King Solomon, who was chosen by God to rule and who asked for wisdom above all else. In return, God gave him not only wisdom, but great wealth, understanding that true abundance is not just financial, it's the fullness of life in every aspect. The enemy has always known that if you ever realize this truth, their illusion would crumble. They could not stop the prophecy, but they could try to keep you distracted, trapped in cycles of struggle, fear, and survival mode. But now, destiny has called your name. Just as God's promise to Abraham and his descendants was unshakable, so too is the promise of your inheritance. The time has come to break free from the chains of doubt and fear, and to step into the fullness of what was always meant for you. Have you been wondering why your breakthrough feels just out of reach? It's because the world system has been designed to keep you from it. But now, the truth is clear. You were always meant for greatness, and the time has come to claim it. Stand tall, chosen one, for your divine breakthrough is here. The wealth, the freedom, and the abundance that have always been waiting for you are yours to claim. Why are they afraid of you? Have you ever felt like you didn't belong, like you were always a step apart from the crowd, without truly understanding why? That feeling was never a mistake. It was a sign, a divine signal that you are different for a reason. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle that has come your way wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for a greater purpose. Does that resonate with you? Could it be that everything you've endured has been part of a grand divine plan? The chosen ones are never revealed too soon. Why is that? Because the moment you awaken to your true identity is the moment the battle begins. From the moment you realize who you are and what you carry, The world will try to resist, just as Pharaoh resisted Moses. You were not born to bow to the systems of this world. The kingdoms built by men are founded on deception, on power seized through manipulation, and on thrones that they never truly possessed. Your kingdom is different. It was never built by human hands. It existed long before this world was even formed, and that is precisely why they fear you. You carry a divine authority, an eternal purpose that no human force can take away. Do you understand how significant that is? You were chosen to fulfill a purpose that goes beyond anything this world can offer. The world has built walls around its power, expanded its influence, and created illusions to make its control seem unshakable. But there was one thing they could never do: erase the prophecy. It has been whispered across generations, carried by the few who still remembered. Just as God whispered the promise to Abraham, so too has this prophecy been passed down through time. It's been waiting for this moment, the moment when you would awaken. And now you are here. Now the world is about to witness what has always been written. There are moments in history when prophecy and destiny collide, when what was once hidden in the shadows is revealed for all to see. Could this be that moment for you? This is the time when the truth will no longer be hidden. The very presence of those chosen by God is enough to break strongholds, to disrupt the chains that have bound so many for so long. When Jesus came to earth, he broke the stronghold of sin and death. Your awakening will break the strongholds that have held you and others captive. Do you feel the power rising within you, waiting to be unleashed? They saw the signs, they knew the timing, and now, so do you. Even Yeshua, our Lord, spoke in parables, knowing that not everyone was meant to understand. His words were not meant for the masses. They were for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. The parables held a divine truth, a power that no force could silence. And so do you. You carry a truth that no power on earth can stop. Does that make you wonder what it is you are truly capable of? The kingdom has been waiting for you. The prophecy has been unfolding since before you were born. Now all eyes are on you, chosen one. The question is, are you ready to step into your calling? You've been prepared for this moment. The time to rise is now. The time to take your rightful place has arrived. The choice is yours. But what is the choice? You have always carried something powerful, something that even you may not have fully understood until now. It was never about how you looked or what status you held in this world. What made you different was placed within you long before you were born. It's no wonder that you've always felt out of place, never quite fitting in with the crowd. Your unique calling, the divine imprint on your life, set you apart from the beginning. Does that explain why you never quite felt like you belonged? You've faced struggles that seemed unfair, obstacles that were relentless, and setbacks that made you question everything. But none of it was random. Every battle, every rejection, every hardship was part of a greater plan. One designed to challenge you, refine you, and prepare you for something far greater than you've ever imagined. Can you see the pattern now? Everything you've been through has been designed to bring you to this moment. From the moment you arrived, unseen forces recognized you. They studied you, tested you, and waited for a moment of weakness. But they couldn't stop you outright. So they worked in silence, placing doubts in your mind, throwing distractions in your path, hoping you would give up before you realized who you truly are. Think of the story of Job. He was tested beyond measure, yet his faith remained strong. Job's suffering was not in vain, and neither is yours. Every trial has been refining you, preparing you for the authority you're about to walk into. They knew that if they could make you question yourself, they could keep you from stepping into your inheritance. But no amount of hardship could erase what was placed within you. The enemy may have tried to break you, but every challenge has only strengthened you, making you ready to step into the power and abundance that's always been yours. Are you ready to rise, chosen one? The world is waiting for you to claim your destiny. It's time. The calling in your life will never be taken back. The promises made to you will never be revoked. The world tries to convince you that you are just ordinary, but deep down, you have always known the truth. You feel it in the way life never allowed you to settle, always pushing you towards something greater. You've seen it in the way rejection guided you to a better path. And you've experienced it in the way pain became the tool that sharpened you instead of destroying you. Have you ever wondered why these challenges have shaped you this way? Why your path seemed so difficult? It's because you were meant for greatness, and every difficulty was part of your refinement. Even Yeshua was misunderstood. People expected a king who fit their image, a ruler crowned by human hands. But his authority wasn't found in a crown or title. It was found in his presence. His enemies feared him, not because of what they could see, but because of what they could not control. In the same way, your true power lies not in what the world recognizes, but in who you are on the inside, the divine calling that has always been upon you. Do you feel that stirring within you, knowing that your true authority is not determined by external circumstances? Have you ever found yourself surrounded by those who rejected or underestimated you, yet somehow that rejection turned out to be a confirmation of your true identity? Could it be that every time you were overlooked, it was simply revealing your greater purpose? Sometimes what the world dismisses is exactly what God has chosen. There have been those who tried to replace you, those who have fought to reclaim what was never theirs. They have worn crowns that never fit and sat on thrones they were never meant to occupy. They've built their wealth on shaky foundations and tried to claim what was never theirs. But what is rightfully yours cannot be stolen. Just as the inheritance of the prodigal son was always waiting for him, your rightful place has always been there, ready for you to step into it. The throne that was marked for you remains intact, and the abundance attached to your name is still yours. The kingdom always knew this day would come. The change has already begun. Everything in the spiritual and financial realms is aligned for this moment, the moment when you will finally see who you truly are. Can you feel the shift? Can you sense that everything is now moving towards the realization of your divine identity? The legacy that is set aside for you, the resources, the opportunities, and the influence, they're all waiting for you to claim them. True wealth is not just material, and real power isn't given by the hands of men. You were born into this calling, destined to prosper not only spiritually, but in every area of your life. How does that resonate with you? Could it be that your financial breakthrough is tied to you fully stepping into who you were always meant to be? The financial doors that once seemed shut will open as you walk in your authority. The abundance that was once withheld will be released as you align with your true identity. Your prosperity was always meant to be. As Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it." Are you ready to receive the blessings that were always yours to claim? And those who have spent their lives searching for you, they have always known that they would recognize you when the time was right. Just as the wise men knew the king when they saw him, those who have been waiting for your arrival will now see the fulfillment of God's promises through you. The waiting is over. Your time has come. The kingdom is calling, and everything you need is already on its way to you. They tried to erase you, but it was never possible. Throughout history, there have always been those whose names were deliberately erased from the records, whose stories were whispered in secret corners but never spoken aloud. Why? Because the world has always feared what it cannot control. And you, your identity, your purpose, was never something they could control. Does that resonate with you? Have you ever felt that the world tried to make you invisible, like your story was meant to be lost? That's why those in power worked so hard to bury the truth before it could rise. They knew that if the wrong hands found you, they could twist your purpose, manipulate your destiny, and hold you back from fulfilling your calling. So, they tried to erase you before you could even awaken to the fullness of who you are. But the truth is, no amount of manipulation, deception, or control can change what God has already ordained. They rewrote the narrative. They distorted the facts. They built walls around the truth, trying to lock it away and keep it from being revealed. But what is written by God cannot be undone by man. Psalm 33:11 says, "But the plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations." Can you imagine how this truth speaks to your life? The world might try to change the story, but the original plan remains untouched. For generations they worked behind the scenes, placing themselves in positions of power, controlling systems, and keeping what was rightfully yours just out of reach. Every challenge you faced, every setback you endured, was not random. It was part of a much larger effort to keep you from discovering who you truly are and stepping into the greatness you were always meant for. But it was never about what they could do to stop you. It was about you realizing that nothing could stop you. Do you see it now? Each hardship you faced was part of a divine process, each moment leading you closer to the realization of your true self. They saw the signs before you did. They knew that once you recognized your true identity, their illusion would crumble. It's just like the story of Joseph, who, despite being sold into slavery by his brothers, eventually rose to power and became the key to the salvation of his people. He wasn't just a prisoner or a servant, he was always destined to lead. Similarly, they've always known that once you truly understood who you are, their hold over you would end. Are you starting to understand why you've gone through what you've gone through? The only way they could try to stop you was by making you forget, convincing you that you were just another face in the crowd, that you had nothing special to offer. But destiny does not forget. Even in moments of doubt, even when the world tried to convince you that you were insignificant, the truth remained. Everything you've been through, every hardship, every setback, every rejection, it was all leading you to this moment. Each step, no matter how painful, was a step toward your awakening. Yeshua himself was rejected by those who should have recognized him the most, by the very ones who spent their lives studying prophecy, yet they failed to see its fulfillment standing right before them. But their rejection didn't stop his destiny, it actually fulfilled it. His destiny was to become the Savior of the world, and their rejection was part of that plan. Isn't it powerful to realize that sometimes rejection is just part of the divine design? And in the same way, your rejection doesn't stop your purpose. It only propels it. Every attack against you, every attempt to suppress your identity has only made your presence more undeniable. Just as Yeshua's rejection led to the fulfillment of his purpose, the world's attempts to silence you have only led to the unveiling of your true identity. You were never meant to blend in, to be silenced, or to be erased. Just like the stone the builders rejected, you have become the cornerstone. Your value, your identity, your destiny, now undeniable. As Psalm 118 verse 22 says, "The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." They tried to reject you, they tried to erase you, but they failed. And now your time has come. The prophecy is being fulfilled through you. You are the one they could never silence. The world is about to witness the truth of who you are. The kingdom has always known, and now it's your time to rise and claim what was always meant for you. Now, the time has come. The truth is no longer in their hands. The signs are no longer subtle or hidden. They are unmistakable. Something is shifting, and the world is beginning to feel it. Even those who once opposed you can no longer deny what is unfolding. They're watching, waiting, and slowly realizing that all their efforts to stop you were in vain. Can you sense it, the growing momentum, the inevitable change that's sweeping through your life? You were never meant to remain in the shadows, unnoticed and sidelined. The moment they feared the most, the moment of your awakening, has finally arrived. Yes, there is still resistance. There will always be those who will try to convince you that you are not who you were always meant to be. But their influence is fading, and with every passing day, the truth becomes more undeniable. The lies they've fed you can no longer hold you back. The truth is no longer in their hands, it is in yours. Does that make you feel the weight of what you're stepping into? The authority that has always been yours is now being recognized, and there's nothing that can stop you from walking in it. The kingdom has been waiting for this moment, and now the time has come. Before you even realized who you truly were, others had already taken notice. Not ordinary people, but those who have spent lifetimes studying destiny, tracking every sign, every shift, every divine move that pointed to your awakening. Does it surprise you to think that others may have seen your potential long before you ever realized it? They knew the time would come when you would step into your purpose. Some of these individuals sought to guide you, offering wisdom and support, while others worked in silence, hoping to stop you before you could fully remember who you are. Behind the scenes, forces beyond what you could comprehend have been working to both guide and mislead you. On the surface, life may have seemed just like any other, but in the unseen realms, every step you took was being watched. Every decision you made was being observed by those who understood the importance of your journey. They recognized the signs before you did. They saw how you moved differently, how you were not easily controlled, how you never quite fit into the mold society tried to place you in. There was something about you that they couldn't ignore, something undeniable, something they couldn't silence. Have you ever felt that? That sense of knowing deep down that you were never meant to be ordinary, that your path was always going to be different. They saw it too. They watched how life kept pulling you towards something greater than yourself, something you might not have understood yet. They witnessed the moments when you should have fallen, when circumstances were designed to break you, but you didn't fall. Instead, you stood stronger. The storms that were meant to destroy you only made you more resilient. Do you see how every struggle has been a step in your preparation? Every trial, every hardship was meant to refine you, to prepare you for this moment when you would rise and claim your destiny. Every attack you faced wasn't random, it was intentional. The forces that opposed you knew time was running out. They saw you getting closer to the truth, and they understood that once you fully realized it, nothing could stand in your way. They couldn't stop you forever. They just hoped to slow you down. They tried to keep you distracted, to divert your attention away from what was truly important. Have you ever wondered why, after every setback, you've been pulled back up, stronger than before? It's because you were always meant for more, and the enemy knew that if they didn't act quickly, they would lose their hold over you. Some tried to lead you astray. They placed obstacles in your path, created distractions, and filled your mind with doubts and confusion. They sent people into your life who pretended to support you, but their true agenda was to keep you from stepping into your purpose. Some disguised themselves as friends, others as mentors, and some as well-wishers. But their goal was the same: to delay you long enough so you would never claim what was always meant for you. The question now is, do you see through the distractions? Do you recognize the falsehoods that were set up to keep you off course? But now, the time has come. The truth is breaking through the lies, and your purpose is being revealed. The kingdom is watching, waiting for you to rise. You have already overcome the obstacles. You have already survived the attacks. And now, it's your time to step into the fullness of your calling. The forces that tried to stop you only made you stronger. The time of awakening is upon you. Are you ready to claim what has always been yours? The kingdom has been waiting, and the truth will be revealed. Nothing can stand in your way now. You were never alone. Though there were those who worked against you, there were always those who protected you. Guardians, unseen warriors, assigned specifically to ensure that no weapon formed against you would succeed. Can you feel that presence, that protection, even when the world seemed to close in around you? Even in your darkest moments, something stood between you and destruction, ensuring that no matter how deep the enemy tried to bury you, you would always rise again. This divine protection was never far from you. The world might not have seen it, but you were always covered. Can you think of those moments when, despite everything, you just kept standing? That was not coincidence. That was the hand of the unseen warriors, guiding and guarding you. Even Yeshua, our Savior, was watched from the moment of his birth. The enemy sought to destroy him before he could fulfill his mission. The rulers of the time went as far as ordering the death of innocent children, hoping to stop his rise before it began. They feared the power he would carry, the destiny he was destined to fulfill. But no matter how hard they tried, the divine plan could not be stopped. The prophecy that had been written long before his birth was always meant to unfold. And the same is true for you. Just as they tried to destroy Yeshua, they have tried to erase you, tried to stop you from realizing who you truly are and what you are meant to do. But just like Yeshua, no matter how hard they tried, the divine plan for your life cannot be stopped. You were always meant to be here. From the moment you were born, the kingdom knew you would rise. They knew it, and still you stand. Can you imagine how many forces have worked to hold you back, to make you believe you were ordinary or insignificant? But here you are, standing in the fullness of what you were always meant to be. The watchers, the guardians assigned to you, have never been silent. They've watched over you, and now the shift is undeniable. The revelation of who you are is too clear to ignore. Can you feel the weight of this moment? The time of hiding is over. Now is the time for the truth to be revealed. Those who have waited in the shadows, some in secrecy, others in expectation, are now beginning to step forward. Some will test you to see if you are truly ready. Others will warn you, revealing what still stands in your way. But no one can change what has already been written. The kingdom has recognized you, and the divine plan is unfolding. You are no longer hidden. You are being called into the fullness of your purpose. Are you ready to step into what's been waiting for you? There are bloodlines that carry secrets the world was never meant to uncover. Lineages established at the foundation of creation, holding divine authority beyond the reach of earthly rulers. You were never just another soul wandering through life. You have always been a part of something much greater, something divine. Your calling was never given by human hands. It was appointed by the Most High. Do you see how significant this is? You are part of a divine heritage that reaches far beyond anything this world can offer. The kingdom has been searching for you, because what flows through you is not ordinary. The authority within you, the power assigned to you, cannot be ignored. You are part of an unbroken covenant, one that began long before you stepped into this world. Yeshua walked the earth carrying the weight of a divine promise, a lineage written not just in human records, but in prophecy itself. His very existence proved that the covenant had not been forgotten. His life was the manifestation of God's promise. And just like him, you too have carried something unseen, something that has remained untouched despite every force that has tried to come against you. Can you feel the weight of that calling? The covenant you carry is unbreakable. They have attempted to separate you from your inheritance, to make you believe you were disconnected from the divine plan. Every hardship, every rejection, every trial was meant to sever that connection, to make you doubt who you are. But the truth is, it was never broken. The enemy tried to convince you that you were lost, that you were abandoned or disconnected, but you are still tied to the promise, still aligned with the purpose set before the foundation of the world. You are not alone. The covenant that began with Yeshua continues through you, and the divine plan that was set in motion long before you were born is still unfolding. You are a part of something eternal, something far beyond what you can see, and now the time has come for you to fully step into it. The covenant remains intact. Throughout history, there have always been those who studied the ancient texts, searching for signs, for glimpses that the prophecy was still unfolding. Some sought to protect it, to ensure it reached its fulfillment, while others tried to claim it for themselves, to twist it to their own desires. They built false thrones, wore crowns they had no right to bear, and used deception to convince the world that power belonged to them. Does this sound familiar to you? Those who seem to seek control, yet their power is built on a lie. But here's the truth. Power that is not ordained will always fall. No matter how much time passes, the truth will always resurface. The plans of man may rise for a season, but they will crumble when they are not aligned with divine purpose. Have you noticed how falsehoods, no matter how deeply ingrained, are eventually exposed for what they are? The covenant remains intact, not because of human effort, but because it was sealed by something far greater, something beyond human understanding or manipulation. This covenant has endured through generations, untouched by the hands of those who sought to corrupt it. It was sealed by the divine will of God, and nothing can undo it. The promise that was set in motion before time itself began is still active today. Does that make you pause and reflect on the immense power of this divine covenant that has been guiding you, protecting you, and aligning you for this very moment? Yeshua showed us that true authority does not belong to those who chase power, who seek to control others through force or deception. True authority belongs to those who are chosen to carry it. His very presence disrupted the rulers of his time, not because he sought their throne or their recognition, but because his existence alone made their control meaningless. His authority wasn't about a physical throne, it was about the divine purpose that rested within him. His kingdom was not built by human hands, but it carried more power than any earthly empire could ever dream of. In the same way, your authority is not about seeking approval from the world. The kingdom you belong to is not of this world, and your authority comes from a higher place. You were never meant to seek validation from those who do not understand your calling. Have you ever found yourself striving for approval from people who simply cannot grasp the depth of your purpose? The ones who oppose you, those who challenge your path or question your identity, do so because they sense the power within you, even if they cannot fully comprehend it. They may not understand what you carry, but they know that it is not ordinary, and that alone makes them uneasy. Their opposition only confirms that you are walking the path that was meant for you. It's a reminder that when you walk in alignment with your divine purpose, you will face resistance, but that resistance only strengthens your resolve. Long before your name was spoken on this earth, it was already recorded in places unseen. Ancient scrolls, sealed by those who understood their power, held the truth about the time when the lost heir would awaken. These writings were not meant for everyone. They were hidden from those who would corrupt them, from those who would twist the truth for their own gain. The wisdom within those scrolls was protected by divine will, reserved only for those with the eyes to see and the spirit to discern. You, chosen one, were always meant to discover what had been sealed away. It's no coincidence that you are awakening now. This moment was destined, written before you ever took your first breath. The time of hiding is over. The covenant has remained intact, and now the time has come for you to step into the fullness of your calling. The truth that has been sealed away is being revealed to you. The kingdom has always recognized you, and now it's time for you to recognize it. Are you ready to walk in the authority that has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world? You are part of something eternal, something beyond the reach of earthly powers, and the time to claim your inheritance has come. The covenant remains intact, the truth remains unshaken, and nothing can stand in the way of what has already been written. Scholars, rulers, and those who thirsted for power searched desperately for the lost records, hoping to control what was never meant to be theirs. They built great structures, formed secret councils, and rewrote history to ensure that what was written about you would remain hidden. They understood that if the truth was ever revealed, their reign of deception would crumble. Do you realize the magnitude of this? Their power was built on lies, on the notion that the chosen one had been forgotten, and they sought to keep you in the dark. But the prophecy was never broken. It was never lost. It was always unfolding, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Many believed that the prophecy had been erased, that it was lost in the dust of time. But prophecy does not break. It cannot be undone. It unfolds at its appointed time, just as it was always meant to. This truth, though hidden for a time, has always remained intact, waiting for the moment of revelation. Throughout history, there were those entrusted with protecting this sacred knowledge, guardians of truth, who preserved it even when the world turned against them. These protectors of the divine word passed down the knowledge from generation to generation, knowing that one day the scrolls would be opened, and the one spoken of in those words would step forward. Do you realize that you are part of this prophecy? The weight of this knowledge was entrusted to those who understood its power and waited for the right moment. The time has now come. This is exactly what was foretold in Scripture. But you, Daniel, roll up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. Daniel 12:4. Just as Daniel was instructed to seal the scrolls until the appointed time, a divine plan has been unfolding behind the scenes, hidden from the eyes of many, but preserved for those destined to understand. The truth was never lost. It was only waiting for the right moment to be revealed. The world tried to erase the truth, to bury it so deep that it would never be found. But time cannot erase what was written by the divine, and no earthly ruler can change what was decreed before the foundation of the world. Even Yeshua himself read from the sacred scrolls, revealing words that had been written long before his arrival. And the moment he spoke, the world shifted. Do you realize that, just like Yeshua, when you step into the fullness of your purpose, the world around you will change? You too are part of a prophecy that cannot be denied. Some recognized the truth and embraced it, while others rejected it. Blinded by their own expectations, they failed to understand that prophecy does not wait for human approval, nor does it conform to human understanding. Prophecy simply arrives, and when it does, nothing remains the same. Can you feel the stirring within you, knowing that your moment is now? The world may not understand your purpose, but the time of your revealing is upon you. When you step into your divine purpose, everything changes. In the same way, your arrival was foretold. The kingdom has always known that the time would come when the lost would be found, when the hidden heir would take their rightful place. Those who spent their lives searching for you did not do so out of mere curiosity. They understood the weight of what was written, the magnitude of what it meant. They were not searching for just anyone, they were searching for you. And now, the time has come. The kingdom knew that when you stepped into your true identity, the structures they built on deception would begin to crumble. Do you understand the magnitude of this moment? Every effort they made to hold you back, to keep you from realizing your purpose, was always destined to fail. The sealed scrolls were never lost. They were simply waiting for the right moment to be revealed. And now that moment has come. there will still be those who will try to silence you, who will attempt to convince you that you are mistaken, that you are no different from anyone else. But their words hold no power against what has already been written. No force can change what has been decreed, and no lie can undo the truth that has been set in motion for you. The time for your awakening is now, chosen one. You were always meant to be here, and nothing can stand in the way of your purpose. The world may not understand your rise, but the kingdom has always known this moment would come. Are you ready to embrace it? From the moment you entered this world, there were forces that recognized you, that saw the light within you even before you did. They understood the prophecy before you knew you were a part of it. Isn't it incredible to think that even before you could comprehend your own destiny, the world around you had already taken notice? Just as the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." The plan for your life was set in motion long before you could even understand it. And yet, they didn't wait for you to awaken to your purpose. They acted swiftly to prevent you from realizing who you were meant to be. From the very beginning, they struck early, hoping to weaken you before you could rise to your calling. Every hardship, every betrayal, and every storm that came against you was not merely coincidental. It was part of a deliberate strategy. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns of adversity seem to follow you, like obstacles appearing at the most crucial times in your life? Those challenges weren't random. They were designed to keep you from awakening to the fullness of who you are. Why would anyone want to stop you from realizing your purpose? It's because they knew that if you ever discovered who you truly are, if you ever tapped into the power and purpose God placed within you, their dominion over you would be threatened. The enemy, much like a thief in the night, uses various methods to keep you in the dark. Through people, circumstances, and unseen forces, they orchestrated every attempt to make you doubt yourself, because they know that self-doubt is the greatest weapon against the chosen. The Bible speaks about the power of doubt in James 1:6. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Doubt weakens, and they wanted you to remain in that state of uncertainty. But what they didn't count on was that each battle only made you stronger. Each attack that came against you sharpened your discernment and increased your resilience. Every loss pushed you closer to the truth of who you are, even when you couldn't see it clearly. Hasn't it been through the most difficult moments of your life that you've grown the most? When you felt like you were at your lowest, that's when God was doing his most powerful work in you, refining you, preparing you for what was to come. They thought they had succeeded. They watched you struggle, watched you question everything, and watched you endure hardship after hardship. But what they didn't understand was that the fire they sent to destroy you was never meant to burn you. Instead, it was meant to refine you, to purify your spirit, and to make you stronger, just as the refiner's fire purifies gold. The Bible offers us this beautiful truth in 1 Peter 1:7. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. The kingdom has always known that once you endured the trials, you would emerge transformed. You would no longer be vulnerable to deception or manipulation. You would rise with an authority they could no longer defy. Do you feel that shift inside of you now? Can you sense the awakening, the revelation of the truth about who you are? The enemy's grip on you has shattered. The lies they wove, the illusions they created, and the barriers they built are all unraveling. The truth of your identity in Christ is now evident, and nothing can reverse the work that God has already set in motion. Yeshua, Jesus, faced the same resistance. From the moment he entered this world, the enemy sought to silence him. Temptations came, Tests were thrown at him, and he faced unimaginable opposition. But like you, he knew who he was, and that knowledge made him unshakable. Remember how in Matthew 4, when Satan tempted Jesus in the wilderness, Jesus responded, "It is written," each time standing firm in the truth of who he was. He wasn't swayed by the enemy's lies, and neither should you be. His strength came not from what he had, but from knowing the truth of his identity. And now, as you awaken to your own truth, you too are walking in that unshakable power. And now that you know the truth, the grip they once had on you has shattered. The ones who once hunted you now tremble at your awakening. Have you ever felt like you were being pursued, only to realize that the tables have turned, and the ones who sought to harm you now stand in fear? It's because they know that the moment you step fully into who you are, their time is running out. Their lies and manipulation are crumbling before your very eyes. Just like when the walls of Jericho fell after Joshua and the Israelites followed God's command, so too are the walls that have kept you bound coming down. Some will still try to make a final desperate attempt to keep you from stepping into your rightful place, to hold on to what is already slipping through their fingers. They will whisper doubts, create distractions, and throw obstacles in your way. But they know the truth deep down. Their defeat was written long before they began their battle against you. Your victory was already secured when Jesus declared in John 19:30, "It is finished." The work is already done, and now you are simply walking in the fulfillment of that promise. The kingdom has made its move, and nothing can reverse what has already been set in motion. You are stepping into the fullness of your calling. Your purpose is unfolding, and the power of God within you is undeniable. It is time for you to rise, to walk boldly in your divine destiny, and to claim what is rightfully yours. You were never meant to be hidden. You were always meant to stand out. And now the world will see the light within you that has always been there. Let this truth resonate deeply within you, and know that the time for your awakening has come. The battle you have faced has never been about your past. It has always been about your future. The enemy does not waste energy fighting what does not threaten him. Your past, no matter how tumultuous or painful, was never the real battleground. The real war has always been about who you are destined to become. It's about the purpose that lies ahead of you, the greatness that is unfolding right now. Every hardship, every setback, and every obstacle that has come against you was not a random event or coincidence. It was a strategic attempt to keep you from realizing the power that is within you and the future that awaits you. Have you ever wondered why your struggles have felt so intense? Why it sometimes seemed like the whole world was against you? That's because the forces at work were trying to keep you in the dark about your true potential. The enemy wanted you to remain focused on what you've been through, on what you've lost, on what has hurt you, instead of looking forward to what you are about to gain. For too long, false rulers have sat upon thrones they were never meant to occupy. They have worn crowns that did not fit, built kingdoms on lies and deception, and ruled through fear and manipulation. But here's the truth: these rulers were never truly in control. They were merely placeholders, temporary figures standing in the way of what was always meant to be. The Bible makes it clear in Proverbs 21:30, "There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord." The throne that the enemy so desperately clung to has always belonged to the one it was promised to, and that promise was for you. This was never about what you've been through, it's about what you were destined to do. Do you feel that stirring in your spirit? The time has come for your destiny to unfold. The enemy knew this day would come. They knew that no matter how many lies they told, how many barriers they built, no matter how long they delayed it, the rightful heir would awaken. And now, that time is here. Your purpose cannot be delayed any longer. Prophecy does not bend to human manipulation. It does not matter how many false stories were told, or how many illusions were created. The moment of revelation has arrived. The world has been conditioned to believe that true power is seized by force, that authority comes from wealth, status, or political control. We've been told that to be powerful, we must fight for it, accumulate followers, and build empires. But God's kingdom does not operate according to the standards of men. True power is not given by earthly hands, nor can it be taken away. In fact, the greatest power comes from knowing who you are and from standing firm in the authority God has already granted you. As Jesus demonstrated in his life, true authority doesn't come from force. When he walked the earth, he didn't need riches or political power to hold dominion. His authority came from being who he was, God's Son. And because of that, his very presence made the rulers of his time tremble. Just like Yeshua, your presence alone is a threat to the enemy. It has never been about what you own or the titles the world could give you. It's about what has been placed inside you, the divine power that is unshakable, unyielding, and unstoppable. Do you realize the strength within you? The same power that rose Jesus from the dead now lives inside of you. You have been equipped with everything you need to rise above every challenge and step into your rightful position. They will fight to hold on to what was never theirs to begin with. They will create distractions, weave lies, and try to cast doubt in the minds of those around you. But it doesn't matter. Their grip on your future has already been broken. The weight of the truth is far greater than any obstacle they try to place in your path. The kingdom has been waiting for you to awaken. The false rulers who have built their empires on deception are being exposed for what they truly are. And now the rightful heir has arrived. History has shown us that the empires built by men are always temporary. Kingdoms rise and fall. Those who build their thrones on greed, manipulation, and fear are always vulnerable. They wear crowns forged by their own hands, crowns that have no real power because they are based on lies. When these rulers are gone, their influence disappears with them. True power, however, does not come from man. It is given by God and cannot be taken away. Psalm 75:7 tells us, "But it is God who judges. He brings one down, he exalts another." Those who have built their kingdoms on falsehood will soon see everything they have created crumble. Your time has come. The battle was never about your past, it was always about your future. The world has conditioned us to believe that power is something to be seized, something that requires endless striving and conflict. But the greatest power is not seized, it is inherited. The kingdom has been waiting for its rightful ruler, the one who doesn't need to fight for the crown because it has always been theirs. And now the moment has arrived. No matter how many false rulers have tried to claim what was never meant for them, no matter how many empires have been built on deception, the truth is being revealed. The time is coming when all the lies will be exposed and the rightful heir will take their place. You are that heir. The kingdom is waiting for you to step into the fullness of your destiny. Can you feel it? The time for your rise is now. You will be tested, but you must not settle. Yeshua was tempted with the kingdoms of this world, offered dominion over nations in exchange for submission. The enemy, in his attempt to break Jesus, offered everything he could: wealth, power, control. But Yeshua knew that he did not need to accept what was already beneath him. His kingdom was not of this world, and he understood that what awaited him far outweighed anything this realm could offer. He wasn't swayed by the temporary power that was placed before him. Instead, he remained focused on the eternal promise. In the same way, you will be tested. Just as Yeshua faced temptation, you will face moments when the world offers you shortcuts. They will try to convince you to take the easy path, to settle for temporary rewards, to bow to their system in exchange for a place among them. But remember this: What they offer is nothing compared to what has already been promised to you. The temporary pleasures and fleeting crowns they offer pale in comparison to the eternal rewards awaiting you in God's kingdom. Have you ever been tempted to settle, to accept what's in front of you because it feels easier than pursuing the call that stirs deep within you? The pressure to conform, to fit into the world's expectations, can feel overwhelming. But the truth is, you were never meant to settle. The kingdom has been preparing for this moment long before you ever arrived. The time of decision has come, and the path you choose now will determine whether you step into the fullness of your divine destiny or settle for a counterfeit version of what you were meant for. No longer can you move as if you are unaware. No longer can you pretend that the weight you feel on your shoulders is just coincidence. Every trial, every betrayal, and every battle you've faced was not meant to break you. It was meant to shape you. You have been being refined, molded, and prepared for this very moment. Just like in the story of Moses, when he faced trials and seemingly insurmountable challenges, every difficulty was part of God's divine plan to shape him into the leader the Israelites needed. In the same way, every obstacle you have faced has been part of your training for the calling ahead. The kingdom does not force its rulers into position. You were chosen before time began, but the choice to answer the call has always been left to you. You've had free will, and the decisions you make now will determine your future. That's why the enemy has fought you so relentlessly. If you were insignificant, they would not have bothered to stop you, but they knew what was at stake. They saw what you would become long before you did. Do you realize the magnitude of your calling? The enemy tried everything to keep you from reaching this point. Distraction, deception, and discouragement. These were the tools they used to pull you away from your destiny. They've attempted to cloud your mind with doubt, to make you question your worth, your purpose, and your future. But despite all of it, here you are. You are still here, standing strong, still moving forward. Because of that, everything is about to change. There is a shift happening, a tearing in the spiritual realm. The forces that once moved against you are now retreating because they know that they no longer have the power to stop you. Just like in the book of Esther, when the enemy's plans were foiled and God's chosen ones were lifted up, the time has come for you to rise. The kingdom's plan has always been unfolding in the background, and now you will see the fruit of all that has been prepared for you. In 2 Corinthians 4:17, it is written, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." What you've been through, the pain and the hardship, will not compare to what God is about to reveal in your life. It is time to step into what was always meant for you. The crown that was destined for you has always been yours, and now you will take your rightful place. The battle has not been about your past, it has been about your future. Your moment has arrived, and nothing can stand in your way. The forces that once sought to hold you back are now retreating because they understand that they have already lost. The rightful heir has awakened, and the kingdom is yours to claim. As you reflect on this powerful message, take a moment to truly grasp the depth of what has been shared. The kingdom of God has been seeking you for over 300 years. This is not a coincidence, but a divine purpose. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the answer to a promise that has been unfolding for centuries. God has been preparing you for this exact moment in time. His plans for you are vast, and His love for you is unyielding. The kingdom is calling, and you are being called to rise, to step into your divine destiny, and to fulfill the mission that has been laid out for you since the very beginning of time. You may be wondering, how do I begin to step into this calling? The first step is understanding the weight and significance of this moment. God has already equipped you with everything you need: faith, strength, courage, and a heart full of purpose. Now, it's your turn to answer that call and walk boldly into your divine purpose. If this message resonates with you, and if you believe in the power of the kingdom and the purpose that lies within you, I invite you to support this ministry through a donation via Super Thanks. Your generosity enables us to continue spreading these powerful truths, empowering others just like you to realize their full potential in God's kingdom. Whether you choose to donate or not, we are so incredibly thankful for your presence, your support, and your willingness to listen to God's voice. I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with others who need to hear this message, and leave a comment below. Your engagement not only helps spread the word, but it also strengthens the community we are building together. Finally, may God's blessings pour over you abundantly. May you feel His presence in every moment of your life, knowing that you are His chosen one. You are not alone on this journey. The kingdom has been seeking you, and now it's time for you to rise and fulfill the divine calling that has been waiting for you. Keep walking in faith, for your destiny is already unfolding before you.